Serie, our world.
Hello.
Hi, man.
How's it going?
Yeah, well, good. It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah.
It's been a while since club football's been on also. So, yeah, there's been a few gaps.
Yeah, it's been, as you say, there's been a bit of a gap, but
What have you been up to?
well, I'll quickly say I watched the Italy under-21s yesterday.
Oh, right.
Their final group game in the Euro qualifying. They drew 1-1 with Republic of Ireland. Casadei scored and then Nonto missed a penalty. But I mean, that was fine. They still went through the group, winning the group, didn't lose a game. They won 6 out of 10, drew 4, scored 27. They only let in 4 goals, and so they've qualified for the Euros, which is good.
That's good. Were there any standout players that you would say we should be keeping an eye on?
I mean, a lot of them we already know about. I think, as I say, like Savona, Nonto, Casadei. I mean, we've just already mentioned them. But I mean, yeah, it's just we know how it is now in Italy. They're going straight through now. They're getting they're going through quite quick from under 20s and all that stuff to the main team if they're good enough. So yeah, I mean, I think there's overloaded in each position, I reckon.
Would you say Casadei and Nonto, they deserve to be there, right?
In the under-21s, or you mean the main one?
Well, yeah, even that actually. Like, do you think that they can?
I mean,
we've been interested in Nonto for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he did get some senior games anyway. Do you remember when he came through? I mean, when literally no one. Well, I mean, we knew of. I was aware of him. I was aware, but I mean, I know there was quite a few who wouldn't have been aware of him when he first came on the scene because he moved away from Italy. And then when he came to play for the national team, I think was it Mancini that gave him the debut? I can't remember now, possibly. And against like Germany, he was killing it. So he's still got. They can all improve really. Obviously, even the ones that are in the main team. But after what's going on at the moment, I would say it's difficult to say put them into the main squad because we are. Well, I feel that Italy are now finally settling in and starting to show what they can do. I mean, might as well just talk about it. I mean, Italy, Belgium. I mean, finally Italy started quickly instead of conceding quickly, which was good because Cambiasso scored after a minute. By the 24th minute, Retegui put Italy 2 up. We were dominating, attacking. It was all great. It was all going smoothly, and it looked like right, they're going to play like they did against like France or even better than that. And then 38th minute, Pellegrini got a straight red card after a VAR check. He got a yellow first, and then from that free kick, Belgium did very well and scored straight away. And Italy were just basically playing on the counter. So that game wasn't the best after the red card. They still could have won it, but I think we got away with it, especially with Bastoni fouling in the area, and for some reason no one gave it and the VAR didn't give it, so the game ended 2-2. And then as the next game was against Israel, it was comfortable. Again, they dominated. There was a bit of a lull in the second half, and it didn't seem like the ball was going to go in, but in the 41st minute, Tonali was fouled in the area. Retegui, in form, stepped up into the top corner, so it was 1-0 at the end of the first half. And then in the second, Di Lorenzo scored just before that lull happened. Then that lull happened, Israel got a goal straight from the corner. Vicario, I was disappointed, especially being at where he was born and playing in Udine and all that stuff. He dealt with it terrible. I mean, I still think it was a bit of a foul on him, but I think he made the most of it. And the way goalies are now, isn't it? They think they go down, they're going to get a free kick straight away all the time. And then the reaction though from Italy was brilliant. I mean, straight away, Tonali running from the kickoff, and then we literally just dominated the rest of the game, and got another goal from Fratesi, his 8th in 23 games, and then Di Lorenzo again as well. So Italy winning 4-1, and they're top of the group after 3 games, 7 points. Then France, Belgium, and Israel. So yeah, I think it would be difficult for the under-21s at the moment to just go into that main squad, because I mean, I think even Barella's going to struggle to get in at the moment. But again, that's another topic you can talk about. I mean, how did you see it all?
Well, from my side, I have to say I didn't even watch any of Italy's games. I was watching Spain.
Okay.
Reason being, I was in Spain, and there was no way to watch the Italy game anywhere. Only Spain were being shown. So, yeah.
Well, there was maybe. I didn't realise you were doing that. You should have said, because all the games were on YouTube. So you could have seen it. But
yeah, I could have pulled up the phone and looked on YouTube. I didn't actually check that. But
well, it is what it is now, isn't it? It's gone past. I mean,
also, perhaps it couldn't have worked. I mean, YouTube, it will work in certain regions. Maybe in England it would have been played, but I don't know about in Spain.
Okay.
This happened. This used to happen when I was in Middle East. They allow you on YouTube to watch all of Serie. This was a couple of years ago, but you can't watch it here on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a deal. But I mean, interesting games, but I was thinking about Italy the whole time. I was in Bilbao, took a tour of the stadium and that kind of stuff, visited the ground, but as you know, or may not know, it's obviously a policy that they don't sign players that are not from their region.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, yeah.
The history of Serie players being in that team.
Yeah.
And I tried to have a think about who from Bilbao is in Serie now. I can't think of a single player. I'm not sure if you can, but
not off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, and I also visited Sociedad and San Sebastian.
Yeah.
They share a ground, and went there too. So interesting, but nothing to do with Syria. So I think get back on topic, and it's interesting to hear what you thought about the 2 games that were played, because obviously I saw the results. I saw that Italy would lead and then blew it, and then I saw obviously the Israel game, which a lot of people were happy about, and also Di Lorenzo making up for these previous performances, and I saw Spalletti, what he said. He's like, look, I told you, everyone was telling me not to play him. I know he's a winner, and that's why I kept choosing him.
Yeah.
That's his answer.
But at the same time, I say that I think you were asking me, is all good for me now that he's done that? I mean, it's 1 game, and that's it. And the way I see it, look, I don't doubt I like Di Lorenzo, but he has had a nightmare for Italy in the last few games. Apart from obviously, as I say, he's got those 2 goals, but in general play, he's a part of a reason that we lost a few goals as well. So if he can play like we know he can play, and how he's now starting to play for Napoli again, because even with Napoli last season, didn't look like Di Lorenzo of the season before, did he? So, do you know what I mean? So it's the typical football thing, isn't it? Have one good game and everyone is all right. Oh, this is all good now. It's not. If he does it in the next game and he starts being consistent for Italy again, then yeah, fair enough, it's good. But it's 1 game doesn't swap anything for me. Do you know what I mean? I don't look at things like that. It's like saying, oh right, you win. I don't know, the bottom team in the league beat the top team in 1 game, and that means their season's great, does it? And they still get relegated? Do you know what I mean? So, same for the players and their form and stuff. But yeah, so I'm still happy he scored the goals, obviously, but I just want to see if he's going to carry that on in the next few games.
Yeah, and I saw post-match Calafiori also was saying, we're much better than we were at the Euros. We're not that team that we dominate.
Yeah.
He said Tonali's an animal, and you can see that playing in the Premier League has helped a lot of players like him and Calafiori himself.
Well, I wouldn't personally agree with that, to be honest, because I've seen how through the stages in Italy, I mean from the staff in the background and how tactical it is and everything else to the top. I mean, I can't see even the older players when they go like at the end of their careers to Serie, you still see them improve, and I think that shows you the league. It generates so many good managers, good players. It takes them from one level and puts them on another, no matter where in their career, what stage of their career, whether it's the beginning or the end. It takes it there. Well, I don't understand why. The reason I think Calafiori is saying that is because he's playing in the league, and he has to say that because that's all he can do. But I mean, what Tonali is doing, he's not improved because he's gone to Newcastle. I mean, he was doing that in Serie. You should see his improvement from Brescia, and when he went to Milan and everything, you could see, you know the type of player he is. So there's no difference. He's come here. If anything, I mean, again, like for me, coming here does not improve the players. It doesn't. If anything, it can make them worse.
I don't think it does in this sense. They've been signed at quite a peak level already.
Yeah.
Like when they've been built up, like you were saying, they've gone through all of those phases, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then then teams like Arsenal or whoever, they're like, look at this guy. Look at what he's doing. He's tearing up this, or he's had a good run.
Yeah.
Let's bid for him. But they didn't get him when he was a youth player, did they? When he's still learning.
No.
And the potential he could have gone either way. So yeah, I get that. I don't agree either.
I
it's
don't.
probably on a high. They put the mic in front of him at the end of the game, and it's just having a good
just spouting it, and it's just talk. It's just, as I say, it doesn't make sense to me. It's just a promotion type thing, which I think they have to say after every game because it's where they are. It's where their wage is coming from, isn't it? So yeah, there's that. Do you want me to spout off the weekend fixtures coming up?
I'm very interested in that, but just one more
Yeah. Go on.
news that I came across was so there's a famous statistics website that releases stats, news stories based on the stats, and just yesterday they announced that they did a combination of goals, passes, tackles, lots of other things, and they ranked the top 10 leagues in their opinion, and the Premier League came number 1, Serie A came 2nd, and Bundesliga 3rd, and Liga 4. And that's how it went down. Personally, I'd like to know a bit more about how they put that together.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not being funny. Stats are stats, but it's how those stats are looked at. I think, as we were saying about how assists work and things like that. I still think the whole football stats need to be proper reinvented and re-looked at, because the way it's set out, it's easy to manipulate and make out something different to what it is, if that makes sense. If for example, you could say a team had 65% possession, but they lost 2-0. Like, it doesn't show you really what's going on. I could have 100% possession, but playing it at the back without the other team pushing on. So what's that? I mean, how is that any football? That's not even football. Do you know what I mean? So I think all the stats really need to be having a look at as well. So yeah, as you say, we would need to know more details on that, because I don't know how that works, and you know how unfortunately life works. It's easy for a league or people who are running it to put a bit of money behind it and say, put us up there, talk about us all the time, etc., etc., and it's done.
Yeah.
Rather than what's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm going to dig into it, and then maybe next time we talk, you can see where this all came from.
Yeah.
I just have a couple of other things just from the weekend. So, a very small thing, like I was saying, I was watching Spain, and obviously it's nothing to do, this whole thing we're doing is nothing to do with Spanish football, but
Serie still there.
Yeah, well, Morata scored yesterday, so that's something. And does that mean, I mean, is he first choice every time now that he's back?
I mean, it's hard to tell because it's not really had a chance to replay again, is it really? So we'll see this weekend against Udinese. I'm guessing he is the number one because who else are they going to put in? I mean, I think Abraham's injured again. Again, it's his shoulder. I just do not understand why they brought him in. I know he runs and stuff like that. All that, great. He works hard, but was he needed? I think it was just a quick thing to say, look, we did get someone else in. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what Milan are doing in that sense.
Yeah, and just sticking with Milan, although it's technically not a Milan player, but you probably know what I'm going to say. Maldini, sort of third generation of Maldini.
Yeah, playing for Italy.
23 years old. Yeah, good to see, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been seeing Maldini since he was a kid. Not as in like seeing him at the different levels. I could see his potential, and I just didn't understand Milan just letting him go. They never really gave him a chance. Even when he did play, he was showing flashes of what he can do, but he never got given full consistency to play. So I know they've got a 50% sell-on fee from Monza, but I mean, all that guarantees them is if they want to buy him back, they get him for half price. Or if another team goes for him, I think they've got first option as well. I think I was saying because Inter are interested in Maldini now. So technically Milan can say, right, if Inter want him, we want him as well. Let's just say it's 10 million. Milan would pay the 10 million, but they'll get 5 back type thing. Do you know what I mean? So they can also match the price or whatever whoever goes in, and as I say, even if he does go elsewhere, they still get half of that money. But I still don't understand in terms of players that they needed. I mean, why they couldn't have kept Maldini instead of getting Abraham, for example.
Exactly. It was foolish, especially if you take all the true facts away from it. You would want, as a team, if you were AC Milan, surely this guy's got the makings of being a good player, right, in the future. Surely you would just keep him. Put a gamble on it, keep him. It's costing you less than buying someone like Tammy, who's a gamble, in my opinion, a big gamble.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same for all English players. I'm not being funny, but their price tags are overinflated, which with that comes out overinflated wages as well. Yep. And I guarantee you can find any player from any other country on the same level or better for cheaper, and that's overall. That's overall thing.
I think we said this maybe not on a recorded podcast, but when Tammy was going to Milan, I was saying that I can name 50 strikers, like just Italian strikers. I would say you put in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so that's it, and I'm not getting Milan's thing. I mean, it's like I think again I've said this to you. Inter and Milan seem to have swapped how they go about their transfers and stuff, and I mean, Inter would more likely get an Italian over a Milan now, who used to prioritise an Italian over, do you know what I mean, somewhere else. So, and I just don't get their policy still. They're still doing it even now. They're talking about players that they want, but when they're mentioning them, obviously they're telling everyone else who then's looking at them as well. And at the moment they're looking at Mastan Tuano, who's Argentinian. He's really good. He's a youngster. But now they're coming out with all the stories. You've got Rail also looking for him as well. So are they going to get him? Who knows? I doubt they're going to give as much money as Rail would give for him. As we know, Rail spent loads of money on these Brazilians, Argentinians and stuff. And they don't care because their government helps them as well, doesn't it? So, I don't know what else to say about that.
Let's just hope we see more of Daniel Maldini. And he started well. Apparently, I did not know this, but Paolo, his dad, we've watched many games with him playing, but apparently he started his last game against Udinese.
Yeah.
So, it's just crazy, right? Absolutely crazy mirror, but
just how the thing, just how it all works out, isn't it?
Exactly, everyone will be watching, I'm sure. So let's hope he does well in Serie A and more appearances for the national team.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go on to the weekend. It's on Saturday. There's 2 games at 2 p.m. There's Como vs Parma and Genoa vs Bologna at 5 o'clock is Milan Udinese. Then 7:45 Juve Lazio. Then on Sunday the 11:30 game is Empoli Napoli. 2 p.m. games are Lecce Fior and Venezia Atalanta. 5 p.m. Cagliari Torino, and then 7:45 we've got Roma Inter. And then on the Monday, 7:45, Verona Monza. So, some tasty fixtures as always. Any in particular for you?
For me, I think, the 2 involving the Rome team, so Juve, Lazio, and Rome,
Inter,
I think will be definitely one to watch. What else? I think also I want to see Napoli. I know it's an away game. Napoli shouldn't be too much trouble though.
Well, you say that, they only just lost their first game.
I think Napoli.
But Napoli should be winning,
Looking like they want to win the league. If you're picking out one of the so-called big teams, would you say someone else? Or for me, I think Napoli are looking like it.
What, winning the league you want about?
Yeah.
I think at the moment, they're looking the more likely, but I would never rule out Inter and Juve in that. The rest of the teams at the moment, there's a lot of inconsistency this season, which is not surprising. As I say, every team is difficult to play against. You don't turn up and the so-called smaller clubs are going to win or get a result from you. Difficult to say overall because we know how the season goes, but at the moment Napoli look like it. Atalanta could come through as well if they start getting some consistent form. It's going to be an interesting league season, as we know.
It's just because I think how many games have we had so far?
So this is going to be week 8.
Oh, 8. Okay, so right, week 8. Yeah, it's good to have these little check-ins about where people are in the league. And, I know I started by saying I think the Juve would win, but let's see. They're still looking very, very strong themselves. Napoli has suddenly got this fire. Let's see how they take Empoli. I personally think Inter might have shown a bit of. You've seen, haven't you, in the sort of end of their matches, they seem to concede and been a bit shaky versus last year. How confident they play.
Yeah. Well, so it's going to be one to watch, isn't it, this season? every season seems to get better. There are European fixtures next week, but I think we can talk about that on the Tuesday, can't we? Otherwise we'll be here all day. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up.
No, I think we're all good here. Yeah,
cool.
Good.
All right. Well, let's say we'll once the weekend played, then on Tuesday or something we'll do another one, and we'll talk about the European fixtures coming up that week as well, and go from there.
Nice one. We'll talk then.
All right. See ya. Bye.